If I were a ghost of all the things I tell you, would you run, try to seek the higher ground? If I were lost, more lost than when I found you, should I go, try and find the path again? Fly around inside, windows look like sky. No, it's alright, no, it's okay. Live like you'll die someday. If I made time the way I make my music, would you smile more often than you do? And if I smiled for once without reservation, I doubt there'd be a thing we could do. I curse the dashboard light, home late another night. But you know it's alright, you know it's okay. Live like you'll die someday. But never wonder, and they never question. They march crying past the grave. And I wanna feel love without feeling old. I wanna feel the wind blow through my soul. I wanna love you for the rest of my life, and I wish that life were dying. Dying, dying on the vine. You say it's alright, you don't get a life without pain. I can't deny that. All I wonder, when it's poison picking time, which one is mine? Mine. Well, you know it's alright, and you know it's okay. Live like you'll die someday. And maybe one day, yeah, maybe sometime soon, we can be happy again. Oh, we can be happy again. Oh.
That is track number 3 on today's MSI. We're going to turn it over to Mr. Paul Miro to find out what he thought on this. Paul, your thoughts?
Weird one, that. Definitely the best song of the day, I would say, ironically. At first, there was that, I don't know, Johnny Cash and Glenn Campbell thing, it seemed at first, and then Good Old Country Boy, and then sort of Bruce Springsteen. And then the more you sort of listen, it's like, hang on, there's a good song in here. And I couldn't work out, because it's a blatant demo sounding thing. It's so safe. It's unbelievable. And I'm there thinking, well, okay, there's something in here that I do get. There's something, the guy's doing something here that I like. And what it is the lyrics are very safe, but they're talking about life that guy hasn't lived. It's kind of like a Bruce Springsteen sort of Woody Guthrie sort of story. Pain, suffering, yeah, brilliant, and maybe it can all be better. But that guy sounds like he's just come out of church and never had any bourbon or cigarettes or hard times. it's kind of no conviction. It's bland and there. But the song itself is, you know, that in that country rock kind of way that Bruce Springsteen is the master of. I think it's a kind of song that an artist of that caliber could rip to shreds and have people going, you know what, man, I feel what you're doing. But that guy sounds like he's just left church to go and sort of sing about the life he'd like to have if he dared to sin.
If he dared to sin. That's a good one. All right, Paul, thank you very much. Now let's go over to Ian, find out what he thought. Ian, what do you think?
Do you know what? My biggest issue with all of this was the level of the vocal. I mean, it sounds to me like this is possibly a internet collaboration or something like that, where someone's gone, I've done this great backing track, will you sing the vocals on it? And they've sent him a mix down, and the guy's put the vocal on, and then he's decided he's going to mix it himself. And the vocal is just so dominant across the track. There's a lot of good stuff going on in there. The acoustic guitar I found was very thin, needs attention on the EQ. I thought the vocal was very well EQ'd. I agree with Paul. It lacks a little bit of conviction in places. He's got a nice voice. I like his voice. I like the tone and his deliverance, but it just needs a bit more passion in there. Again, the drums were distant and they were boxy, maybe a bit more bottom end and high end EQ on those to sort of just bring some of the more detail out in them. The distorted guitars were where in the mix exactly? I think there was some in there, but they were so low I couldn't really hear what they were doing. And the bass lacked a lot of clarity. It was there, but it was all bottom end, and you need to sort of bring it up sort of a bit more in the low mids to sort of give it some poke through in the mix. The chorus was catchy, it was strong. There is something good in there. I mean, I like the Bruce Springsteen reference, actually, Paul. I hadn't thought of that. That really does work. Very Bruce Springsteen. But yeah, the vocalist was just overpowering on everything on here. It is a good story. It is a good song, but it's certainly not a good mix.
All right, Ian, I appreciate that. Thank you. Tom, what do you think of track 3?
Well, as a man who has sinned before, I think in general I agree with a lot of what Ian said and what Paul said. The drum sound, that snare sounds like he was playing a box, really boxy. The electric guitar is lost in the mix. I like the dominance of the vocal. I wish it was a better emotive performance. And still, the tail end of some words got lost. The background vocals were good. The production on this is there. I think they just need to retake the vocals and rethink the mix. You know, it's a good song, and the guy's got a good voice. I like the tone and timbre of his voice, but he's too laid back in his delivery. You know, I think he was trying to be that laid back kind of Johnny Cash, devilish type of thing, if you will. But he just doesn't pull it off. He's and the EQ on the vocal, there were a little too much puffs and pops in there for me. Cut some of the upper lows out and really, you know, EQ it a little bit better. I agree, like I said, with basically everybody. It's a good song. It's a bad mix and a poor delivery, but there's definitely something there.
All right, Tom, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to throw it over to our panelist here in just a second after I introduce this track to you. Want to let you know that the name of this track is called Poison Pickin' Time by The Matthew Show. The Matthew Show with Poison Pickin' Time. Thanks for sending that track into Music Scene Investigation. Now, we want you to join us. Be a witness. So head over to that Be a Witness page. The button's off to the right-hand side of the video. Hopefully you'll be able to find it there. Unless you're watching on Justin TV, then you need to follow the link that's in the chat room to be a witness and let us know what you think of the tracks you just heard today. And you'll be the fourth panelist. How about that? All right, gentlemen. Now I'm going to throw it over to you. have you guys determined a song of the week this week? What do you think, guys?
Tough one, I think.
It is a tough one. I'll step forward and say number one is a little dated and a lot wrong with the mixing. Number two, I somehow like, but as for the best song, despite its flaws, I think I'm going to have to go with number three.
Rick.
All right, so number three from Tom. And what was that, Paul?
There was a number 3 on my page. It wasn't quite getting on the camera there, but yeah, I'm going with number 3. Yeah.
Look, we discussed this last week, Paul. You can't do the sign thing unless you're wearing the bikini.
Ah, damn. Yeah. Behind again.
Do me a favor, Paul. Do the sign thing. Don't do the bikini.
One was the track I enjoyed the most tonight because it was the most honest, well played, no disguise, no trying to be anything whatsoever. But number 3 was the best song and got the most potential. And to me, I'm just looking at it as the kind of thing some guy sends into a publisher and goes, I got this bunch of songs. Can you do anything with these? That's why I see that. And it's definitely the strongest song from that point of the night.
All right, so number 3 from you as well. Ian?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I probably enjoyed number 1 the best. It was good time, old-fashioned rock and roll, but relevance is not much, really. Number 2, I think the guy's vocal performance was stellar, and I'm tempted just to say number 2 for that purpose, because the vocalist was that good. But number 3, probably the most complete, and probably the best song, as everyone says. So who might have rocked the boat? Number 2.
You just rocked the boat.
Sorry, number 3.
When?
All right, so a unanimous decision. Song number 3, Poison Pickin' Time by The Matthew Show, is going to be our song of the week. Now, again, I want to thank you, Paul, for being here, taking time out of your busy schedule. I know that there's no slowing down for you.
Indeed, there's not. No, we got deadline. The MP3 pre-release downloads are starting on the 1st of October. I've got a real busy schedule before then. There's going to be anyone who does pledge for my album at paulmiro.com/pledge. By the way, you get lots of exclusive goodies over the period as well. Like there's already been a video gone out and a lyric booklet. There are going to be a couple more videos cropping up very soon of things behind the scenes of how the album was mixed, and there's also going to be a brand new track that's not going to be on the album and it's not going to be on the bonus tracks. It's an absolute exclusive purely for pledges, and yeah, it's non-stop, loads and loads of gigs. Tour coming up with another band and with Seismic Survey from the Levelers pretty soon as well. So yeah, non-stop, no sleep till Brooklyn, as they say.
All right, Paul, thanks for being here. Great to see you again. And I want to take the opportunity to let everybody know that now that the Matthew Show with Poison Pickin' Time has been voted our Song of the Week, they're going into the mix for our Band of the Month, which takes place every second Wednesday of the month. So you can tune in next month, the second Wednesday of that month, and see all of our Songs of the Week for September against each other in a contest where we're going to pick a Band of the Month. That's, of course, brought to you by the kids over at the Live to Play Network, Sound Pro Live, and our partners at Butterfly Radio and Indie Music Bus. We appreciate their support. Now, gentlemen, as for you guys on the panel, I want to thank you, and I'm going to throw it over to Ian because he's pointing a finger at us all. Ian?
I am. Well, it's interesting you should bring up the hit list, the Band of the Month competition, because one of the things that also happens with the people who win on the hit list is they're actually nominated for Band of the Year, which is something we done last year. We had a really great response to. And we also happen to be talking now with our best guest of 2011, Mr. Paul Miro.
And the applause is crazy out there. I can see him.
And, that is all happening again this year. We are doing Best Band of the Year, basically, Guest of the Year, and we're also adding a new section where it's actually most played on MSI radios, so most requested on MSI radios. So you get over to the radio station and start requesting your favourite artists.
Yeah, we're actually going to start taking those counts. To be perfectly honest, we're going to be taking those counts starting November 1st across the board. So that's when you can get all the voting beginning at that time. All right. Now, gentlemen, thanks again for being here. Want to thank everybody out in our audience for being here as well. And we're going to be back again next week. Make sure you join us then. Carol from Butterflies Radio is going to be our guest panelist. It's going to be a lot of fun. Right now, though, we're going to play out with Poison Pickin' Time by The Matthews Show. Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll see you again next time right here on Music Scene Investigation.